Flight attendants of Reddit, what are some things that make you immediately hate a passenger? I once had a flight attendant who said in pre-flight, in an adorable German accent, if you press the button above you once, someone will come to help you. If you press it twice, you will be ejected from the plane. No ticket. Cousin works for United. Her text back drunk people. All drunk people after takeoff are horrible, until they pass out, then they just smell. Tell her I am sorry, but I also don't appreciate the 10 drink hour limit they seem to set. My older sister worked as a flight attendant. She hated when people would drop their carry-on at her feet and tell her to find a place for it. Also, there was an old lady who poked her in the butt to get her attention, repeatedly. People would drop their carry-on at her feet and tell her to find a place for it. Ah yes, right here in the checked baggage area. That will be $40 please. Do not pull on our uniforms. If we tell you there's no more room for bags, just listen to us and check it. I know there's a call button there, but don't ring it 15 million times. Please don't ask us to put your bag in the overhead compartment. We can help you guide your bag up there, but most companies inform us not to lift your bags. If we do and we get hurt, then we don't qualify for workman's comp. Do not pull on our uniforms. This isn't just a don't do this to flight attendants thing. This is a who the frick raised you, what is wrong with you thing. Not a flight attendant, but these buttholes that bring in carry-on luggage the size of body bags and try to stuff them into the overhead bins, taking up all the space for everyone else. If you're flying out of Nashville and expect to fit anything into an overhead compartment, you're gonna have a bad time. Everybody flying out of Nashville has a guitar in the overhead compartment. I've been a flight attendant for 20 years. My number one pet peeve is cutting your nails or toenails on the plane. I can hear that crap from back in the galley even if you're in row 2. That's the most disgusting freaking thing in the world to do on a plane. The other one is trying to get your mile high club wings. People don't know how disgusting that bathroom is when people pee all over everything in there. In turbulence, that wetness on the floor is not from the sink, trust me. The last time I flew, this guy was plastered and kept saying what's the deal with airline food over and over with the worst Seinfeld impersonation you could imagine. I worked as an airline reservation agent. My biggest pet peeve was people who couldn't put it together that if you tell the agent that you are incapable or disabled, you will not be given an exit seat for leg room. In the event of an emergency, the other 120 paxes on the plane don't want to have a full minute less to avoid dying. Please don't make an airline attendant spell that out for you. Also, those people who yelled at me because their so-and-so BF son Unclespeter was in the military, so they automatically qualified for a 99% discounted rate. Airline agents don't set the price of the ticket. Don't accuse them of being greedy corporate commas. No, really, because they can't issue a $2 ticket to a man in uniform. Also, frankly, anyone from Boston or New York during a weather emergency, never in my life had I heard the words "don't you know who I am" before telling a business class pax flying from Logan to JFK that the reason his flight was cancelled was because all flights were cancelled, in addition to almost all public transportation and basically anything that relied on electricity. Self-entitled PR1CKS. I was a gate agent in Boss. When people would get too shirty about JFK delays, I would offer to assist them booking train or bus reservations instead. They usually shut up. Took a flight to Atlanta via Seattle once from Portland, or it's about to 45 minutes. Flight to Seattle, and this young guy across the aisle was drunk and kept yelling, complaining and harassing the flight attendants. By the time we got to Seattle, everyone on the plane hated him. Unfortunately, he stayed on the plane upon landing, meaning we would have him for the next 6 hours to Atlanta. Then, God smiled and 3 very serious guys entered the plane. 2 of them went to talk to him and 1 to me. Yes, he was swearing, belligerent and harassing the flight attendants. Do you need a written statement? Do I need to testify? He was escorted off the plane. Yes. Justice. Sweet justice. Went to Florida a couple weeks ago. Took a flying culvert out of central Wisconsin to O'Hare. We had a cabin commander, not a flight attendant. It's prestigious. Been working as a flight attendant for a year now. Can't stand it when first class passengers shove their jackets at me as soon as they step through the doorway, especially when I already have an armful. When you put your super small bag jacket in the overhead bin, there is space under the seat in front of you for a reason. I shouldn't have to take the time to ask everyone whose jacket is in the bin so I can hand them out to find someone a space. For the large bag, hold onto your jacket until the bags are all set up, then place them on top. Yelling at me that since you sit in the front part of economy that you should be able to use the first class lavatory. This is a security violation and we can't have people in line by the flight deck, hanging out in my galley. I understand the need to stretch your legs, especially on a long flight, but when I am preparing or restocking my carts for whatever service we are offering in already such a small space, I don't need you making it more difficult for me to do my job. Pointing out from 3 rows away that such and such person needs to pull their seat back up when I'm trying to get people right in front of me to do it first. Trust me, we will get to that row and tell them ourselves. And no one likes a tattletale. Playing your game movie music without headphones. This is the worst, especially on a red-eye flight. No one wants to listen to your crap during flight. I'm sure there's more, but these are my main pet peeves. I was seated next to a passenger who seemed to selectively understand the flight attendant. For the first meal, he responded pretty well about what meal he wanted. The second time, he just stared at her, with me sitting awkwardly between them while she tried to rephrase the options different ways to get some kind of answer. She was getting visibly frustrated and he just didn't care, or something. Efficiency seems to be the big thing in a tiny space and he was just content to be a big silent speed bump. A lot of people pop a Xanax or 2 to fly. Wouldn't surprise me if he was just out of it. Buddy of mine will pop 2 oxys. I have to ask you about sitting in an exit row. Don't be a dong. Listen to me for 15 seconds. There are rules I have to attempt to enforce. That being said, if you don't know what silent is on your phone, you deserve to be publicly shamed. Flush the dang toilet. Most lavatories have doorknobs. They work like all other doorknobs. Oh, and your million miler? That's awesome. I actually appreciate you because most days I love my job and you ensure I get money for passing out Coke and cookies. But you don't get to snap your fingers at me. You don't get to throw your coat at me. And I am not your bar wench. Also, come on a plane hygienically sound. Don't do anything bodily on board. Scratch ass balls. Clip nails. Clip hair. Remove nail polish. Brush teeth and leave toothpaste everywhere. And leave peacefully, without yelling at me about a dang thunderstorm that made you miss your connection. I'm not Storm. I wish I was. You obviously don't know how much we need to scratch balls sometimes. I'm not a flight attendant, but I know kids grow restless on planes. I could never stand long flights as a little kid. But when you're allowing your kid to kick my chair, or scream, or throw things, or whatever it is, I really hate you. Not your kid. You. Parenting is tough. But please, 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 try to settle your kid down. Same. If you are trying and are being unsuccessful, then that's fine. You're doing what you can. But if you're just sitting there like a lemon waiting for a gin, I hate your guts. Frequent flyer here. Give the poor bastards a break. Snow ain't their fault. The screaming kid ain't their fault. The fact that myself or another very frequent flyer got upgraded over you definitely ain't their fault. As a word to other passengers, if you have a child who is of an age where they are capable of taking directions and controlling their behavior and you still decide not to control them, I have numerous ways of making your life heck. I'm not referring to a crying baby, Lord knows. It sucks but it can't be helped. General rule, don't forget your manners. Frequent flyer here too. And this is why I carry a stack of coffee shop gift cards in my briefcase. I know the crap that flight attendants have to put up with, and I know how thankless it is, so I do my best to make their days not suck as much. When I am running things, there will be some changes to air travel. Every passenger will be required to place any carry-on luggage in a mock-up of the overhead bin at check-in. If it is too large, they will be required to check it. If they attempt to put it in lengthwise instead of wheels in or out, they will be bumped from the flight and have to rebook for tomorrow. If you stand and block access to the gate before your group number is called, you will be placed on the no-fly list for a year. Finally, there will be a 6-foot wide yellow stripe painted around the luggage claim conveyor. Anyone caught loitering inside the yellow zone instead of standing back and waiting until they see their bag before crowding the carousel, will have their possessions fed into an industrial wood chipper. I might be one of those that they don't like, the guy that they have to wake up after the plane has landed. I'm not a flight attendant, but I feel like based on these other stories, having to wake someone up is an okay trade-off for not having to deal with whatever crap they might do, say if they were awake during the flight. The know-it-all frequent flyer that wants to chat with everyone. When they hijack the plane. I used to fly regularly from Sydney to Taipei to visit family as a kid. I was a young kid. Youngest I did it was 13 alone, all the way till I was 18. I have bad air sickness, and my parents would never book my window seats, simply because I didn't want to disclose the problem. Every time, especially on overnight flights, I would feel incredibly guilty pushing the help and call button every 10 minutes for another water, and even worse when I'm out of sick bags, and you allow my dirty sick self to sit in your lovely allocated seating at the window, seeing as that helps. All the time you sat with me in business class talking to me for hours trying to get my mind off it. Thank you for the help, and the smile you always had when coming over for the 20th time with a cup of water at almost midnight. I always felt bad, and you probably hate it, but you've helped my flight experiences tenfold. I respect you all immensely, so thank you all. It was mostly Singapore Airlines, and once China Air, but I'm sure it occurs across the board. Thank you. Not much, I'm here to serve you and save you. Anything hatter-worthy you try, I can have the pilots land and arrest you. Was offered this option once after a passenger was so obnoxious it made me cry. Telling passenger that their carry-on is too big to fit in the overhead bin. It will have to be checked, but I have a tight connection. Okay then, I will wave a magic wand and presto, the bin just got bigger. Flight attendant here, repeatedly hitting your call button. It's a call button, not goddamn Morse code. I'll get to you when I can. Parents, stop letting your kids hit the button. It's annoying as frick. Snapping your fingers or whistling at me. I'm not a dog. Complaining at me and insinuating that I can do anything about your 30-minute connection time in JFK. You have to switch terminals? Yeah, you're going to miss your next flight and that's your own dumb fault. Congrats. Delta got your money and they are not obligated to rebook you. Assuming I'm a glorified sky waitress, my job involves a lot more than serving drinks. I went through a lot of training to take your crap and a little respect goes a long way. I'm there primarily for your safety, not to mix you some weird combination of ginger ale, cranberry juice, and seltzer water. WTF. If I tell you your bag needs to be checked to cargo, IT needs to be checked to cargo, and arguing with ME will cause a delay. We, the flight crew, are not pussies for not flying in inclement weather. The decision to cancel delay a flight is not up to us. Stop getting mad at ME about delays. Relax, have a drink. The gate agent will sort your crap out. Loudly sighing and obviously checking your watch while we're taxiing to the gate will get us there faster. Especially in Detroit, I promise. Give me your trash when I come through one of 12 times to collect it. Don't leave it in the seat. I try to be as pleasant as possible, but I work 14-hour days and get paid $16k a year. My days are long and my overnights are short. Please try to be as low maintenance as possible. People forget their manners when they fly. Be nice and respectful and I will do everything in my power to ensure you have a great flight. Free booze snacks. Babies. 8 hours flight, England to Orlando. Crying baby the entire time. Never let me forget. I get the feeling airlines need to take people's credit cards and just be like, oh I see, if you frick up and not act like the mature adult that you are, we charging you $50 stuff up. Don't even try me. I'm gonna guess constant corny airplane jokes. Roger. When they curse and scream about their hate for a certain kind of reptile creature. Those Methafrican snakes. You've been visited by the luckiest pig in the world. Comment lucky piggy below to get some of his luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.